as you said it, the business is going to evolve differently.
Yeah.
Whereas the small business, they may start out maintaining yards. They're going to be maintaining yards.
Yeah.
As they grow, right?
Right.
Whereas we may start out with some idea that is going to morph into something else, as you just pointed out. Eric, we're back for another episode of
Big Talk about small business.
Yeah. I'm looking at our talk sheet today on a strategy.
And it's already pissing you off, isn't it?
Well, it is, because I see this stat cited here.
Where? Which one?
65% of companies with strong C-suite involvement in strategy report much better financial performance than their peers. What kind of research is that? You can delegate your strategy to somebody that's not at the top. That's the goofiest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. Of course the C-suite dictates the strategy.
Right?
That's the philosophy of everything.
That's why they're C-suites.
That's why they're in the C. If they're not doing that, what are they doing?
They have no financial performance at all. I guess there's probably, you know what that makes me think is that there's somewhere along the line, there is this someone, maybe a group of consultants, we're coming across the fact that there's some C-suites that are out there that weren't doing strategy.
Yeah.
And so they have to generate some statistics to prove to them that, no, y'all are supposed to be focused on the strategy of this company.
That's the goofiest thing I've ever heard.
That's pretty bad.
When it comes to like Department of the Obvious. Okay.
So today we're talking about strategy for strategic planning.
Yeah.
And again, for entrepreneurs and small business owners, right?
That's right. That's the focus. That's what we're called.
Let's
Big talk
about small business.
It's not big talk about big ass business.
No, or small talk about big business.
No, it's not.
It's big talk.
That's right.
About small business. And I think this kind of relates to our previous episode where we were talking about the difference between, there is a difference between strategic planning for small business versus large business.
Yes, there is.
And you actually taught me this a long time ago about the balance, or when do you cut off strategy versus taking action.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that it's just kind of like, I really feel like if I was to generalize it for small business, I feel like it's 80% action, 20% strategy.
Oh, I don't disagree with you.
You know, and I mean, like, and so, but I think that in maybe a big business in the C-suite, it's 80% strategy, 20% action.
Maybe.
Most likely.
Well, if you look at like big business versus small business, they tend to have such a big chunk of a market. A big business has a big chunk of the market.
Yeah.
Whereas a small business typically has a micro percentage of a market.
Right.
So it's a totally different thing. You know? Like the big business can drive the market to a certain extent, whereas a small business can't.
Right.
Typically, right?
Right.
We just sort of participate in it. We can carve out our little piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But we're not going to go out there and dictate what the market has. Like you look at like the big automakers, right? Now they're all in a tizzy over whether they spent all this money developing electric cars. And now suddenly electric cars aren't so great without the tax credit or whatever. Right. And so, you know, so if they all decide we're going back to internal combustion, they're driving the market.
Right.
Okay. Whereas we could have a car company over here. We're not going to drive the market.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Their strategy considerations and discussions are a lot different.
Yeah.
Looking than what
we're just trying to get some piece of the market.
Our strategy is how do we get new business? How do we get business in the door?
Right. How do we first off get enough business to survive, and secondly get enough business to grow this thing?
Right. Right. Do you think that profit should be considered as a strategy for the small business owner in the very beginning?
As a goal? I mean, well, this is one that gets a lot of people upset. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it depends on how much money you have to lose. If it's not important to you, then you got to say, can I afford not to be profitable?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
circumstantial.
Yeah. It's circumstantial. Exactly. I mean, truthfully, like if I had a small service company that doesn't take a lot of overhead to make it,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be that worried about profitability. I'm going to drive my revenue growth. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to just lose a whole bunch of money if but if I got a business where I got to invest in infrastructure and fixed assets and stuff, then
Profitability starts becoming more important.
right, unless I just have a lot more capital to pump into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets a lot more important.
Yeah, and on the tech business, top line revenue is absolutely critical.
Yeah, I'm much more interested in that. My basic philosophy is if I have enough top line revenue, I'll figure out a way to make money.
I agree.
It's always been my philosophy.
Profitability to me is a something I'll figure out.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'll figure it out.
I just want one.
Just give me the revenue stream.
Where's the bullseye? It's the sales. It's revenue. Right. Everything else is just a good problem to have, man.
It's so
profitability is like it's a bad problem but it's only a bad problem when you don't have revenue.
Right.
For the most part. Right.
The problem is when people start micro-analyzing what makes profit and what doesn't, and then they use that as the basis to make decisions to cut things off.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's where I always depart with the financial jocks.
Yeah. Yeah. And the same thing with pricing, right? Yeah. My philosophy on pricing is what will the market pay for?
Exactly. It has nothing to do with the cost. I totally agree with that.
Do you agree with that?
Oh my God, always. Listen, I learned that when I was 13 years old. Okay. I worked at Kirkwood Cycle Shop.
Yeah.
And my boss bought a enormous trailer load of old bikes from this guy who had a bike shop in the east side of Illinois over there in St. Louis, and went out of business. He'd been in business for like 30 or 40 years.
Yeah.
And Larry, my boss, paid $40 for an enormous. It was one of these trailers that they used to haul kids around in at the drive-in during the intermissions. It would seat like 60 people in little metal benches.
Yeah.
Piled as a mountain of bikes and frames. So I took all those parts and I got a kid that worked for me, and he'd sand down the frames, and I'd spray painted them, and I'd order new decals and emblems from the manufacturers, clean the wheels, true them up, throw tires on there, put bikes together out of the parts. And then we sold them as used bikes. And I'd get done with a bike. All right. And I'd say to Larry, okay, Larry's the boss. I'd be like, Larry, what do you want to charge for this? First thing, what do you think Larry said?
I don't know.
How much do we have in it?
Okay.
And at 13, I had the wherewithal to say, doesn't matter. Makes no difference. What do you think we can sell it for?
That's it. What do you think somebody would pay for this? What's the value that this product has for somebody? That's it.
I knew that at 13. It was irrelevant.
It drives me nuts when we get into pricing discussion.
I know.
It's like, well, what's the amount of hours? And I want to know what the...
You sort of want to know.
I kind of want to know what that is, so I'm not like an idiot.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, if it's costing us 100, and everybody wants to have this margin of 25%, 50%, whatever it is, and so therefore we charge this. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If this product line, if I'm like, A, what will the customer pay for it? B, what are my competitors doing?
Exactly.
And how important is this? Is this a crack rock? Is this my sample crack rock, my 10 rock?
I know.
Because I want my 10 rock to give me 100 rock. Am I making sense with the crack analogy? But like this is my teaser. This is my entry, my opening price point.
So it doesn't really so much matter. The point is it gives me the relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's not a single transaction that my whole business is based on.
100%.
Lots of single transactions. No, it's based on the relationship. I used to get into this for years in the architecture and engineering business. The philosophy of all the brilliant people was, well, if we make money on every project, we'll make money. I'd be like, no, actually, that's not true. Because if I don't do enough projects, then I don't make money. Then all my calculation of what the profitability was, it's the same thing with the motorcycle business. I go through this all the time.
Yep.
Well, if we make $2,000 on every bike, then we make money as a whole. No, not if we sold 12 bikes, we don't.
That's right.
Okay. Our overhead is not it's spread out over all those bikes.
And
I got to hit a certain volume level.
Yeah, you do. And you need to get people in so you're stirring the pot with clients and you're figuring out.
Right.
Like, I mean,
it's a gateway.
It is. Most of the time. And the other thing to me is I want to work with you so I can learn from you.
Right.
And I learn with you. And I find something that I can provide to you that has been having greater value to you that no one else is doing. But the only way I'd ever figure that out
is if you're working with
if I'm working with you.
I know. No, you're so right about that. Oh my God. In the consulting business, that's the whole point.
The one thing I appreciate,
the first engagement.
Here's what I'm enjoying. Like, we've talked some smack about VCs and all that type of stuff in Silicon Valley. Not necessarily about Silicon Valley, but that's where a lot of the VC activity is going on, obviously. What I'm appreciating in today's time with this AI stuff is that the VCs are understanding, all right, you are these people with these skill sets and you want to do a business in this sector. This is what you think is the product fit, but you actually are admitting you don't know. And I, as a VC, am admitting, I know we don't know, but I'm still investing in this because
you have faith that you'll figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have been reading a lot about that. And that's something magical that Silicon has going on with them, is that they're not actually trying to invest in things with product fit. They're investing into the people in the industry.
Yes, I get it. Right. And their ability to figure it out.
And they're giving them the funds to make it through to find the product fit, which could take a year or two.
Sure.
And millions of dollars.
Right.
We don't understand that in the Midwest.
No, I get it.
In the heartland.
That's where the real entrepreneurship it comes into these VCs you're talking about on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get that. I understand.
Yeah, because the strategy for those small businesses is to get to work.
Yeah.
And it uncovers itself as you start diving the weeds. A lot of these companies, and that's been like Cursor, which is a huge company now, killing it. They didn't have a product fit for a long time.
Right.
Neither did Figma.
Yeah.
Figma took a long time to figure it out.
Amazon didn't have a business model that worked for 20 years. It took them a long time to get that.
It took a long time. And that's just the reality.
Yeah, sure.
And so if you think you can strategize a product fit and it's going to work out, and then by the way, you're spending all this time on profitability and all this type of stuff, you need to be focused in on what does the market want and need? How do I go get more of that?
Yeah.
And drive that top line.
Yeah, it's so true. Gosh, it just... But I've got to be able to, in these businesses that take a lot of capital.
Yeah.
I've got to be able to sell that vision and that ability out there to potential investors.
No, you really do.
Okay. Now, again, we're departing from the majority of the small business people that are listening to this in small business world, where they're not getting outside capital.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, and
that's a different animal.
Well, it's
just like the corporate.
It's a track for them. Like, I mean, it's just a way to like, how do you want to start your business? You know, what are your goals with it? What's the market that you're trying to solve for? Because some markets require a significant amount of capital.
Yeah, so we've made a distinction between corporate America and small business, right?
Yeah.
Now we're talking about the distinction between small business and entrepreneurial ventures.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, the small business has to make sufficient profit in order to be able to stay in business.
It's fair.
Okay. But the entrepreneurial venture, they've got a big goal they're going after.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be, I'm making money all the way along the way, probably.
No, because the pathway for them is to exit and get another series and exit. You know, there's all kinds of different ways that deal structure works.
And as you said it, the business is going to evolve differently.
Yeah.
Whereas the small business, they may start out maintaining yards. They're going to be maintaining yards.
Yeah.
As they grow, right?
Right.
Whereas we may start out with some idea that is going to morph into something else, as you just pointed out.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're starting a landscaping company.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you need to.
Maybe we'll add Christmas lights or something, right?
Right.
But it's still, it's not going to change that much.
That's right. Unless you go autonomous. Like, you know, you buy some AI-driven lawnmowers. And I actually, you know what? I saw a really interesting landscaping company. They're all electric.
I know. I saw. Just going to mention that. I've seen them. So they say they're silent.
They're silent.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It's a great niche. I love it.
Smart for them, but that's a good example of somebody having a specific niche.
Yeah, I love that. I could see that.
And
they
it's
were
great
in my
for
neighborhood.
businesses. And I mean, hell, even like neighborhoods that are compact. Like, who wants to hear, you know, I mean, it seems like that's all you hear anymore, especially on Saturdays or whatever.
Drives my brother crazy. He said all he hears in his neighborhood is freaking leaf blowers. Just all day long. Yeah. Everybody's like obsessing over their lawns.
Oh, God.
He lives in a nice neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about.
I can't stand it, dude.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I can't stand the attention to lawn care that we have as a society.
I know.
It's all so fake. Give me some poison ivy, baby. Give me a snake. Give me something that bites and that might hurt. Give me thorn bushes.
You're insane. I've got some guy in my neighborhood. I was talking to my neighbor last night, texting with him. I'm like, who the hell is it who is sawing and drilling at friggin' 10 o'clock at night? I can't figure it out where it's coming from. Yeah. I don't know if it's reverberating off his house. We all have like acre lots. It's very hilly and wooded. And yet it sounds like all friggin' night long. What the hell is going on?
Did you ever figure out who it was?
No. Neither of us knows who it is. It's driving me bananas.
You know what's crazy is like the amount that we have been taught about this landscaping, this beautiful landscaping stuff we have in neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Now I have my property out there.
I like it.
And I'm sitting there trying to figure out like what's the best grass to use for erosion control and all this stuff. And I'm like, somebody's like Bermuda or it's fescue or sod or, you know, do all this. And I'm sitting there figuring out all this stuff. And the whole time I'm all pissed off at my hillsides because they don't look like, you know, like what I'm used to seeing. Mm-hmm. But then I start doing some research and I realize every one of those grasses that I think are weeds are actually native grasses and bushes that are absolutely 100% perfectly designed.
Critical to maintain erosion.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, and guess what?
They survive in that environment, right?
And the whole time I want to, you know, to burn it all and like replace it with this fake ass Kentucky bluegrass, you know.
Don't do that.
No, I haven't. I stopped. And so now I just let it go. It's beautiful.
I've done so many yards with fescue and I love it because it stays green in the winter.
Yeah.
It just doesn't hold up.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Man.
You will be fooling around with that stuff forever.
What we've been calling weeds and is on the back of like the Roundup containers is like, kill all this, kills all these weeds. They're not weeds. They're native grasses.
No, I know. I hear you. Yeah.
And that are good for your lawn. Anyway.
Well, let's not get obsessed about that. I love that stuff, that Roundup. But anyway, I know it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's no good. You know what? Roundup used to be really powerful and it's terrible for the groundwater, right?
Yeah.
But today they've changed the formulation of it, but now it just doesn't work. Okay. So yeah.
Well, they're not going to sponsor us.
You might as well. No. So you might as well just let the weeds grow. But no, let's get back though on the topic. All right. We can obsess over our lawns anytime. So 90% of organizations fail to execute their strategies successfully.
I think that.
Why do you think that?
I think that's because 90% of the time, what you have strategized, it gets changed on you because of the way the world works and the way business works and the market works and your clients work and your competitors. Like you can strategize all day long. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think there's a good majority of that 90% is because I could sit here and plan out what's going to happen this quarter.
Right.
And inevitably, there are so many things that divert from that plan.
Sure.
As we get down and we get to work. Like you think that let's go get 5 clients at $5,000 a piece, right? So we can hit the $25,000 revenue by the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you go out there in the market and you end up finding that one client wants $50,000 worth of work.
Yeah.
Or you got 20 clients that want, you know,
$5,000 or whatever.
Yeah, $1,250 worth of work, right? I mean, it's and so that right there disrupts your entire strategy.
Well, I see that. I mean, I guess the only thing I disagree with there is I don't know that it's a strategy to get 5 clients at $5,000. I see that more as a goal. I mean, my strategy to me is more the philosophy or approach I'm going to use. Now, you could build a case to go, well, your strategy is to have these 5 clients of a certain volume that make up your business, right?
Well, because
you want that balance or whatever.
Yeah. And you know how to staff against that and how to resource against it. And
so that in that sense, it is a strategy.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like push me down on the podcast and like
I just want people to be clear on the difference in a strategy and a goal. Because I do find a lot of confusion over that. My whole point about strategies is really they should be enduring.
Yeah.
It's your philosophy. Your philosophy doesn't change, but your actions, your goals, your practices can change.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think, to go back to why 90% fail, I think personally, the reason for that is that companies, it starts with they're not really committed to the strategy, or at least the people in there aren't, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the CEO or the founder hasn't sold that strategy very well to their people. So they don't really understand why it's critical or to follow. That's probably a really big part of it. Secondly, is maybe the founder or the CEO's not committed to the strategy themselves.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
They thought it sounded good, or that's what they had to do.
Yeah.
Because of books they read or whatever. But it's not really what they want to do. Okay. Then we have all the other stuff that you mentioned about the distractions, things that happen in the environment, that make us go, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that, or now we can't do that.
Yeah.
That's another factor, right?
It's the doubting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The doubting, the oh, gee, these other things happen, or our priorities are different.
Oh, they're not meeting their goals.
Yeah, we're not meeting our goals.
So kind of your point, like your strategy should outline, direct your goals.
Yes, it should.
Company, right?
Yeah.
And so if you set out your goals and your goals aren't being met, now that the way you're talking makes sense, because we have goals that are against our strategic, deployment.
Yes.
And we do them by like halves, and we don't meet 2 or 3 consecutive halves of certain goals, then therefore the strategy's off.
Yeah, exactly.
But
maybe it's the implementation though in reality. Right?
So that's what I have been really, actually, I have done a decent job. I hold strong to the strategy from day one.
Yeah, I figured you would.
And I'm just like, no, we're not, because I get the request, we should change these targets and these goals. No.
Yeah.
All you are, because you didn't meet them last half, it means that you're behind for this half. So what are you going to do to implement and execute to catch up with that?
Yeah, usually it comes down to the actions, right? I mean, that's why we're not hitting the goals. We could have the strategy, but we're not taking the action necessary to really implement it.
Yeah.
It's all there is to it, right?
Yeah, and so where's that bottleneck at? Why is that being disrupted?
Well, that says 67% of well-formulated strategies fail due to poor execution. Well, maybe we're not holding our people accountable. Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
As the business owner and manager?
Yeah, for sure. I would say I would say accountability, clarity.
Clarity, okay.
Ownership. That's the one that I've been struggling with a lot lately. And that's my fault. My fault for not assigning clear ownership, which is part of clarity.
Oh, yeah. Boy, that's so true.
I mean, isn't it? Like, I'm thinking it's understood.
Right.
I'm actually thinking that somebody's going to be like, oh, shit, I got an opportunity to own something.
And shine, right? Yeah.
But it doesn't happen.
Yeah. It's
like,
I don't want to take that.
Yeah. Or there's the aftermath owner, where it's like, I don't own it, but then I want to own the failure of it because I didn't own it to begin with, but now I want to own it because it wasn't done right. So now I'm the owner, not going to be the savior. You know, I mean, it's just twisted thing. Heroics.
That is a problem in a lot of companies.
Yeah.
I don't do what I need to do every day. So problems develop, but I can be the hero and solve it, even though I never should have had it in the first place.
And the best one is,
okay,
like, I told you so about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yep.
Just if you really feel strongly about something, you have the freedom, and I'm empowering you to take action on that. You know, but I think that the clarity, the ownership, you know, and the accountability are really big deals as to why you're not, you know, hitting those things.
Well, I mean, as a business owner myself, I think if anything I ever failed at was accountability, because I don't like holding people's feet to the fire, and I don't like having a lot of meetings.
I don't either.
Okay, and I don't like keeping a strict schedule.
No,
all those things go against what my normal behavior is.
I agree.
I just want people to get it and do it.
Yeah,
and if they don't do it, I'll get mad at them.
That sounds really familiar. Here's the problem, though. It doesn't really work. No, it works for you.
It doesn't work.
It works for you. It works for me. Mm-hmm. Like when I worked with you, I liked it.
Yeah.
Because
you're an entrepreneur.
I know, because like you're just like, you come in and wig out.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh shit. But then I would own it.
Yeah. Because you
figure it out.
You're that rare person who you don't think like an employee, and that's why you aren't one now.
So I'm unemployable.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's, but that is a problem. I think we don't hold people accountable.
Yeah.
And it's due to our resistance of
being held accountable.
Yeah. Of being held accountable ourselves. No.
We don't want somebody on our, I don't want somebody on my butt.
Right.
Right. And coming in and checking in with me all the time about crap. And I surely don't want to do that to somebody else. But it's kind of it's not a smart move.
No, it's not. Only 2% of leaders are confident they'll achieve 80 to 100% of their strategic objectives. Wow, that's not good. Is it? 2%?
Yeah. That might not be, I don't know what that is.
It says it was from Cascade Clearpoint 2025. 50% of leaders rate implementation as equal in importance to strategy. Oh, God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or more. I mean, again, it's like these people that do these business plans, but they don't do. I mean, at some point, you got to stop planning and you have to start acting, right?
Yeah, right.
And the action's what we're short on,
100%.
Not the ideas.
That's right.
Ideas are a dime a dozen, but people who act and get things done, that's much less common.
That's why, again, 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
80% action, 20% planning.
Yeah, it's really true. 61% of respondents say their firms struggle to bridge the gap between strategy formulation and day-to-day execution.
Yeah, and that's not an easy thing to do. I think that's in the crux, like how you create and build a really great business is being really good at.
You need to answer that? I'm just doing to you what you did to me. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, it's the difference in how you build a really great business.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is a really good magic right there. If you can figure out how to plan well, mm-hmm. and then most importantly, execute well. If you can bridge that gap, you have a really good business.
I think where the problem comes in is, let's say, as the owner / founder / CEO or whatever, maybe we can come up with a good plan, right?
Ready to level up your show? Podcastvideos.com is the premier podcast recording studio, equipped with industry-leading technology to save you time and hassle. We specialize in marketing and distributing your podcast, ensuring it reaches listeners everywhere. From eye-catching promos to targeted social media outreach, we help grow your brand and audience. Visit podcastvideos.com today, and let's elevate your podcast game together.
So hopefully we have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
But where it fails is, and we can do, so we're out there doing too, right? But where it fails is implementation of longer term system related problems or systems. That usually falls into strategy, right? There's certain things we need to do. There's a philosophy that implies these 10 things have to happen. Those 10 things don't happen because we're preoccupied with delivery, acting, serving our customers, creating the revenue, doing what we have to do on a daily basis. We don't make progress on the longer term initiatives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That will really help drive our business to a new level.
Yeah. That's a really challenging thing in business. But
Really
if you can,
challenging.
if you can figure out how to make sure that you're touching base, I love that explanation, because that's what really helps the business continue to be successful.
It does. But see, that's where people get confused, I think. They go, oh, you need professional management. No, not necessarily professional management, but I need somebody who can advance long-term initiatives.
Yeah.
You and I were both lucky. If you look at the businesses that we had that were our primary businesses, we had that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Working with us as a partner.
That's right.
Okay.
Right.
Now you switched to your primary partner along the evolution of your company. But in a sense, they both were people who knew how to get these longer term things done.
No, they did.
And we're the front end out there.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I had my Fred White, you had your Alex or JS Bull.
Yeah.
Not to say they're the same. They're totally different. But nevertheless, they complemented us
100%.
in the ability to advance longer term initiatives.
100%.
Got to have those people.
Yeah, you do.
If you want your small business to grow, you better have somebody like that, or you will have a hard time implementing your strategy.
Yeah,
I think.
I would find it really. I would find it really difficult if you tried to start a small business today without any capital to afford to pay other people that aren't like you.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that capital, that you don't partner with somebody that's not like you.
Well,
it's really hard to do it all solo without any money.
Yes, it is. It is. But the only way you can make it happen, as we both also understand, is you just can't take any real money out of your business, or you take the very least that you have to.
Right.
And you're willing to reinvest it. Whereas a lot of small business owners don't think like that. They think, oh, I made 150 grand. I can go spend 150 grand, or my personal overhead.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Okay. I've never done that. Never thought about doing that.
And
I don't understand how somebody would.
That's why your business grows.
Yeah.
You end up with something at the end. Again, the entrepreneur is the investor. They're not trying to harvest. They're not eating their seed corn every crop.
That's right.
Okay.
You got to see down the road. You want repetitive year over year crops, and it's got a healthy soil, like you're just building this thing.
Yeah, but most people can't delay the gratification in order to make that happen.
I think the pitfall is that people think that they start a business for money.
Yes.
That premise
to make a living.
That's a bad premise.
It is. It's a bad. I deal with this with so many students.
Do you really?
It's like, what do you have a passion for? Well, I don't really have a passion for anything. I just want to make money. I hear this all the time. I like business. I don't have a particular passion for anything.
Bad deal, man.
It's a bad deal. You got a problem there. There better be
because there's no way you'll sustain on, like, number one, you don't have a vision to even start out with. That's bad.
Yeah.
Because your vision is about making money.
Yes.
Bad vision. That's not a vision. That's called maybe greed, or I don't know what you would call it, but it's not vision of business.
Exactly. It's a fantasy.
It's
just get a bunch of money.
That's greed.
Yeah.
Right. That's
it is.
And so that's a bad vision. And then you don't have if you don't have a vision, then you can't
sustain the obstacles that are going to come in your way.
You won't have energy.
The inevitable
You won't have energy.
Terrible thing. Yeah,
Because
energy.
you're going to kick it off, and there's going to be less and less money and a lot more risk. And you're going to be the first thing you're going to do is like, this
big
doesn't
new
make any
problems.
sense.
Why am I doing this?
Why am I doing this? I'm out.
Yep. And you give up.
You give up.
But hey, failure's great though. We learned a lot from it. Yeah, fail. Fail early, fail often, fail a lot. Fail, 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 fail. Expert one-man band, never had a real business telling me that. Okay. Great. Keep telling people that. I had 7 businesses go bankrupt before I started the one that I made money with. How many people did I screw along the way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're
How many
a lot
people
of
did I let
collateral
down?
damage with that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
A lot of collateral damage with that. Like I've seen a lot of these. Yeah, like you can't.
We all know there's a cast of characters that are associated with one of these phenomenal, spectacular failures after another.
Yep.
So,
Because I think that when people say fail, it's okay to fail. Like
it's okay to give up.
it's okay. Yeah, and the context is it's not equal depending on the person whose ambition it was. Like
Yeah.
I will say that I've had businesses that have failed. However,
I could say I've been involved with things that failed.
yeah, but I mean, like, but the failure to me was that the vision didn't come to fruition. It wasn't
Yeah,
monetarily.
just people didn't get paid, and you just went belly up and lost everything.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, you know.
Exactly. Right, that's a different thing.
That is a different thing, right? And I'd say that it's okay that I've had that happen because I learned a lot from it. Because
Right.
then, but my premise again had a vision to it and a market fit.
Yeah,
And I just didn't do all the right things, and I didn't see enough in the future. So therefore, now when I start my new one,
where you changed your mind.
Yeah.
You didn't think it was worth it. As you got into it, it became clear that it wasn't.
yeah. But now this next time I can see further down the road.
Sure.
So I don't really fail
Yeah.
because I'm taking that knowledge with me to the next thing.
Right. You just took it to a certain level and stopped and then moved on to the next thing.
But if I started a business to begin with for financial reasons
Yeah.
and it didn't work out, what would I learn?
Yeah. You'd learn that you probably should just go get a job.
You should raise more capital next time.
Right.
That's the.
If I had unlimited money to lose, my God.
I just didn't raise enough my first round.
Yeah.
That's why I failed. That's not good, man.
No, it's not.
You're hurting people on the way just because it's not all your money.
65% of companies with strong C-suite involvement. In
You read that
strategy.
one in the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, I did. Much better financial performance. That's from the Department of the Obvious, is what I would call that. Okay. So,
So what is the strategy for strategic planning? I mean, I think that,
that's the question we're supposed to answer.
it is like here's what I would recommend
Okay.
is that as the entrepreneur, you have especially, in the small startup business, you have 100% responsibility for the strategic planning.
Amen.
100%.
Totally agree.
It's not 99.
Absolutely.
It's not 80, 100.
Right.
So with that kind of ownership that you have to have with that, you have to be insistent on, in my opinion, finding time to work on that strategy.
Yes.
Meaning
It's not easy.
at all.
Yeah.
I found that Sunday mornings for a block of 6 hours or so, while everyone else is sleeping and not working, that's when I do some good work with that.
Yes.
And then because the week starts up on Monday and it's just hell, right? It's a hairball of hell. And then you don't have enough time because you really do. You have to get into a zone and think and really consider, because it's not just tied. It's the business, but it's tied to you personally. There's a lot. It's pretty complex in that strategies. And then you got the market, you got clientele, and you got all your naysayers.
You're doing your work every day.
Yeah,
in the
man.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I know, you're right.
So you have to, I would think if I would practice that even more myself, and when I have that 6 hours, that I'm really like I've learned a time block.
Yeah.
90 minutes. I can survive 90 minutes without being distracted.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Or you get that hit of dopamine from your distraction.
Right, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and I would call going to the bathroom a distraction.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So you got 90 minutes. I can hold it and I can put my phone down and I can not look at my emails and just sit there and think. And when I do that,
it's golden, isn't it?
It is so golden. And that is all your strategy right there. That's my strategy for strategic planning.
You're absolutely right. If you're just so, and that's where the wisdom comes into the expression of work on the business and not in it. It's not that you do one or the other all the time. You've got to do both. You've got to do both. Yeah. You do have to spend some time working on your business and what you're really trying to accomplish.
100%.
Yeah, I get it. And you're absolutely right. I mean, this is the balance that I would say need to learn.
Back to the 80-20, 80%. And throughout the entire week, I'm working in the business. In the business. Some days, I work on the business.
Yeah.
It just rotates like that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm always working in the business, but maybe for me, it's going to be that 5:30 a.m. or whatever time. Yeah. But yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. And so you do need to devote some time to thinking, to articulating. That's why it's good to be a regular writer. It's good to be a blogger. It's good to be a podcaster, whatever, because you constantly refine your thought process. Yeah. When you try to communicate it to other people.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
Teaching, all these things help us refine that thought process, get our message out, helps us get our strategy formulated, helps us sell it to other people. Yeah. And that helps make that a reality.
That's a second part of the strategy is communicating. Communicating the vision, communicating the strategy. Because it's true. Like I will work on a Sunday and I developed a strategy and then I come and present it to the team on a Monday, the very next day. And I'm like really prepared to communicate it. Inevitably, the questions come, the objections. And I'm speaking highly of the team, and I appreciate it because like those objections and those questions are actually making the strategy more sound and fine tuned because I didn't think about that.
Exactly, they're raising stuff you didn't think about.
100%. And so what you have to do then is capture that.
Yes.
Work on it again on Sunday or as soon as you can, refine, and then re-communicate. Questions, objections, refine, communicate. It should go in that cycle. That's an excellent strategy for strategic planning.
Yes, I agree with you.
Leverage your team, listen to your team, and listen to your customers.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I think in my experience doing a lot of strategic planning, yes, you've got to get the input of the team. They don't decide the strategy, though.
That's fair.
They do help you with implementation.
They refine it and implement it.
Right. So I've got to get their input, right? I do need to have the input of clients and customers. They're ultimately the decision makers, 100%. Right? I got to listen to them. The last thing I got to do, in my opinion, is do the secondary research to understand what's going on in the industry. What are the big drivers out there that are impacting that industry that sort of helps us define our place in it, right? So you can't ignore that either. The industry knowledge is really critical. That goes back to me with having a passion for doing something, because if you do have that, you're naturally going to be constantly scanning that, right?
100%.
You know what the heck's going on out there in your industry.
Yep.
And I think that's what you said before when you were talking about, I don't want to listen to the news. It's horrible. It's distracting. But I do want to follow what's going on in my industry.
100%.
Okay?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And that's where I spend all my time.
Right. You've got to know that.
You do have to know that.
So that's our strategy for strategic planning. We always come to the consensus, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
It's so weird.
It is weird. What a weird show. And this, listeners, has been yet one more brilliant discussion with Big Talk
about small business and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
.com.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Big Talk about small business. If you have any questions or ideas for upcoming shows, be sure to head over to our website, www.bigtalkaboutsmallbusiness.com, and click on the Ask the Host button for the chance to have your questions answered on the show. Stay connected with us on LinkedIn at Big Talk About Small Business. And be sure to head over to our website to read articles, browse episodes, and ask questions about upcoming shows.